Ladies and gentlemen, I want to explain something about borrowing and installments annuities in specific. But before we get to this part, I want to draw your attention to this side of the board. So borrowing is about three main rules that you need to know to have success on the test. First point, interest is paid over what is owed. To give an example, let's say the whole year through I have nothing on my savings account, and in the last year I deposited 10,000 euros. The bank isn't going to pay me a whole year's worth of interest over the 10,000 euros. That would just be silly. So it works the other way around as well. I'm not going to pay any interest over what I don't owe the bank. So let's say I have 5,000 euros borrowed by the bank. I repay 1,000 euros the first year. I don't have to pay interest over 5,000 euros the second year because I only have 4,000 euros left. Second point, only through repayments can a debt decrease, which means that repayments, the purpose of repayments are to steadily decrease the debt's worth. And that has to do with the following as well. Paying interest does nothing with the debt amount. So let's say I pay interest that does nothing to what I owe the bank, so to say. Just to give an example, if I rent a house and I pay my rent, I don't suddenly become part owner of the house. The house remains in possession of, well, whoever owns it. And that brings us to this subject. 3.20 exercises 3.20, 3.27 are about installments and annuities, and they're both practically the same, though annuities often are about a larger amount of money, but that's basically the only difference there is. So there's a huge bag of money here, and the bag of money consists of two components, namely being interest and repayment. So, well, you can already taste what goes wrong on a test. Well, that's the following. People take a debt, so to say, 8,000 euros, and they deduct the total annuities worth and then suggest that that is what is the remaining debt. Well, that's wrong, because annuities include interest and repayment. So, what was the rule? Paying interest does nothing with the debt amount. So, I want to take this knowledge and place it in a context, which is exercise 3.27, which is useful for you to take in front of you if possible. If you don't have it with you, that's okay as well. So it's only useful if you do. So years 1, 2, and 3. So we're talking about a loan which is repaid within 3 years. This is the beginning debt, interest, repayment, annuity, and finally end debt of the year. So I'm going to use the exact same numbers as are in the exercise in your book. So what you could expect on your test is the following. You will be granted three things, namely the beginning debt, the annuity, 3104, dot 27, and an annuity is paid each year. All right. Also, the interest rate is 8%. So this could be everything you get on the test. So with this knowledge in mind, and also about what an annuity is, namely interest and repayment, to put both together, you should be able to solve this. About annuities and installments as well, they've been brought to life because people tend to find it pleasing to know how much they are paying each term, being it a year or a month or whatever, because of their budgeting. So they have money coming in, they have money going out. They just want to have some security about how much they are going to pay. So that's why this is here. How much interest am I paying? Well, apparently the rule is interest is paid over what is owed. 8,000 euros are owed. 8% of 8,000 euros is 640 euros. Easy enough. This is empty. How do I know how much repayment is? Well, like we saw before, the annuity is equal to the interest plus the repayment. So, we don't know this one. However, we do know these two. So, 2 equals 1 plus question mark, whatever. Simple enough. You can do it. I have trust in you. So, this amount minus this amount gives us the number 2464.27. All right. So, what happens next? Well, we need to know this amount to get to our end debt in the first year. You don't deduct this from the debt because interest is included. Please don't make that mistake. Interest does not decrease your debt. It does nothing. It's just a reward. So, take this amount and deduct it from 8,000, which leaves you with 5535.73. All right, we're getting somewhere. Obviously, the end debt of the first year is the beginning debt of the second year. 5535.73. All right. Time to pay interest. Over which amount? What is owed? What is owed? This is owed. So, 8% over this amount gives us 442 euros and 86 cents. All right. We don't know how much the repayment is. However, we do know these two. Well, it's becoming a bit repetitive, I know, but have a look. This minus this equals 2661.41. All right. Then we know how to get to this, namely this minus this, which gives us 2874.32. All right. Then we know what this is. There you go. How much interest is paid? 8% over what is owed. So, 229. Sorry, this is a dot. 95. Without actually grabbing my calculator, I could say which amount is here, because the total loan is repaid in 3 years, which means the end amount has to be 0. This minus something is 0. And this is where the magic happens. Have a look. These have to always be the same in the last year. And how can you check if you did this correctly? It's very simple. You end at 0. It can also be 0.01 or 0.2, whatever. That's because of rounding off or upwards or whatever. Something that can happen in between. That's okay. There's a second way to check. These two always add up to the annuity amount. This concludes my explanation about annuities. Good luck.